Welcome back to Books Fair, Books Queer, and Books You Can Hear. Today we have a very special guest. He's the one and only voice actor that's actually read Living Dead Girl, because there is no audiobook, but old mate here has a channel and it's on there. If you're going to read that book, which I don't recommend, I do recommend that you consume it with his voice. He is a master of making me uncomfortable with that book. his channel will be in the description below anyway.
Today we're going over our top 10 reads of all time.
Oh, really? Fuck, I had no idea.
And we've decided Finn's going first, so we're starting on a low note.
Ratchet. I studied for this one. Alright, so I guess I'll start with my honorable mentions, and these are in fact in order. Ordering this crap was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Like, my friend was like, this book or this book. I was like, oh, I can't decide. And then she said something really devastating. She's like, okay, it's the end of the world and you can only save one of these and the other one gets destroyed for all time beyond recognition, or you just can't read it ever again. And I almost cried. Man, that was the worst thing you could have said. Anyway, at number 15, this would have been higher, but I have no mouth and I must scream. I've talked extensively about this. I have said more words about this book than there are words in the book. Okay, that's how good it is. Any review written about this book is longer than the book. Or rather, story. Number 14. The Five People You Meet in Heaven. It's widely considered one of the greatest books ever written. That's how I found it. And it's by one of my favorite authors, Mitch Albom. Truly profound, absolutely recommend. Number 13, and this is one of the few that I have physically, is The Electric State. This is an art book with a story attached. And it's the art I loved so much, I hold it close to my heart. And at number 12 is Living Dead Girl. I don't know if I need to explain any more about that. You know what? Just go to Old Mate's channel and you'll find out all about it. I don't recommend anybody reads that book though. It's devastating.
I don't either, even though I recorded
it. Devastating is an understatement.
Yeah.
I'd like to argue with you then. I thought we were doing top 10. The fuck you mean 15, 14?
Yeah.
They're I told you I have 5 honorable mentions.
Yeah, but you numbered them.
Now it's the top 15 list.
Now you're gonna just look smarter than everyone else because you got the most books. And
I mean,
okay.
I am, but that's not what I was going for.
And you can do your...
This is what you got mad at me for last time we did this, because I had my top 15 and you were like, 15?
Okay, so not only did I not think about that, but it's okay for me to do it because I'm a hypocrite. So just calm down, everybody, and get with the program.
I should be by now.
Okay, so I didn't actually mean to number them. Jagger numbered them because she put them all in order. So I guess I have a top 15. My bad.
When I can't count to 10.
I could not include these, especially number 11, which I was actually quite sad didn't make it into the actual list, is Project Hail Mary. And all the...
What?
I know. Whatever. Yeah, no, all three of us, we universally love that. I don't think Jordan's read it. Have you read it?
I'm not, no. Sci-fi's a little hard for me.
That's one of the few ones that is 5 stars for all three of us. So definitely read that one. Okay, now the actual list. Maybe I'll just cut out my 15 to 11 Since
Wait, what was
everybody
13? What was 13, 12 and 13 then?
12 was Living Dead Girl and 13 was The Electric State.
Oh, right, sorry. I can't count, apparently.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, now, number 10 is Replay. It made it into the top 10 list, and it was one I read last year. And what the hell more can I say about this book? It is phenomenal. It might be my favorite love story. Might be. I don't know, like, Katniss and Peter is pretty high up there. But time travel, love story, I don't really want to say too much more. I love this book and everybody should read it. Number 9, and I'm doing the thing again, god damn it. Number 9, The Demon Awakens. This one will always have a special place in my heart, even though it's technically like it's quite simply written. Like it's easy to read. I think it's for a younger audience, even if like there's quite a lot of complex characters, which is why I love it. It's got so many complex characters, and Evelyn in particular will always have a special place in my heart. He might actually be my favorite non-antagonistic character of all time. And at number 8 we have The Warded Man. This is another one that we've all given 5 stars. Once again, I don't think our guest has read it. And this one was one of my original, like, really loved it books. Like, I had been listening to books for a long time, but there wasn't like a book that I absolutely loved, you know? Like, this one was just a clear favorite from the moment I listened to it, and I don't like fantasy. The characters, every single one is just meticulously written, and to this day there's just like the way that they're written is like flawless. They're so complex, but they never go against their character in any way, shape or form, which I found is quite rare even in highly rated books. Yeah, so definitely recommend that one. And
cool if I ask a quick question about
course.
this book and the last one. When you talk about The Demon Awakens and The Warded Man, are you talking about them as a standalone or included in like the whole series, like the Demon Cycle or
standalone?
The Demon Saga? Okay, standalone. Okay.
So we have separate lists for series.
Okay.
So these are standalone. I mean, no, these ones are definitely standalones. Yeah. Okay. And one more thing I wanted to say about The Warded Man is I don't care what the author said. So I actually reached out to him. I don't care what he said. He's wrong. Because Armin Jadir is a Gryffindor. Okay, he is not a Slytherin. I don't care if he took shortcuts to power or... Shut up! You don't know! Okay, I know! He's my favorite. I love him. He's a Gryffindor. He's brave. He might be a bit ambitious, but that's not... And no, you and the author, both wrong. Okay?
Okay, so what house is Arlen then?
Gryffindor. They don't have to be different! They don't!
Jadir is obviously Slytherin!
It's not obvious. They can be the same, okay? We don't have to have the perfect 4 or whatever. But he told me that Arlen was Gryffindor, Roger is Hufflepuff, and what
Leisha is Ravenclaw?
Yeah, that one. Those 3 make sense, but like I still don't buy it. That
I think you're just biased against Slytherins. I thought we were past the age where we said that Slytherins were just evil.
Well, that's the problem, is everybody perceives Armin Jadir as the antagonist. He's not. He's an anti-hero at worst. If not, he is Shah Damakar, the deliverer.
No,
by the way, he is. He's the deliverer. He's the deliverer!
It's not. I'm the deliverer.
Alan is not the deliverer.
Jadir is nothing but a thief and a poser.
It doesn't matter what he stole. He's not a poser. He is Shah Damakar, the deliverer.
Jordan,
Have you
read this?
Yeah,
series?
I love this. I love this passionate discourse of a series I never read. So
Yeah, I
it's
was
just
gonna
making me
say,
want to read it
totally makes me
so
want-
much more.
Actually, that'd be great. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear somebody else tell everybody else why Jadir is a Gryffindor.
Shut the fuck up.
Because,
Tell
like,
us your next one.
I've talked to you long enough to know that you have your head screwed on properly, not like the rest of these heathens.
Okay, I will read the Warded Man and get back to you on it. But personally, I would like to say everyone I know is a Hufflepuff. Everyone has a little bit of a Hufflepuff in them, so get ready to be disappointed if you're looking for Gryffindors.
Anyway, let's move on.
Tell me.
At number 7, I have This Book is Full of Spiders. Seriously, dude, don't read it. This one is it's basically my personality in a book. And it's not the only one on this list that I'd describe that way. Jason Pargin is... I think he's a genius, man. Like, I come across him on TikTok all the time, and anytime he talks about something, he talks about it in such a way that, like, you haven't thought about that before, and you're like, how did you think about that? Like, where did you get this idea? And you get a lot of that from his novels. Like, and none of his novels take themselves seriously at all. Like his most recent one, which comes out at the end of the year, is called "There Are No Giant Crabs in This Novel, a Novel of Giant Crabs." So yeah, that says pretty much all you need to know about these books. And number 6 is the only other one in my top 10 that I have a physical copy of, and that is Life of Pi. I've talked extensively about this one, and I've actually made a TikTok about why you should read it, and it is mostly because this book, which, by the way, it has no pictures, so when I say it's visually spectacular, that should be enough for you to want to read this. As well as being like, the poetry in it is as moving, if not more moving, than that of the Bible or the Quran. I actually haven't read the Quran, but I know some of the poetry anyway. Every line, almost every other line, like you could flip to a random page and it will have something, profound or beautiful written on it. I love that book. Number 5 is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Oh man, I love this book so much. It's difficult to go into any detail because just read it. That's the bit. Like with a lot of these books, that's kind of how you want to do it, right? You just go read that book, man.
Dark Matter is best going in blind for sure, because like it gets going quite quick.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's quite difficult to promote.
Yeah. There's no like spoiler-free version of that book.
Of why you should read it. Even actually, I think all of Blake Crouch's books are like that, because Pines, like I spoiled it like quite a lot, and I didn't even give much away. I just wanted to have something to talk about. Yeah, you know what? The best books are the hardest to describe because words ruin them. Sorry, spoil them. Yeah, that was I did that on purpose.
No, it's pissing me off.
And at number 4, Tender is the Flesh. Yeah. This is the first disturbing book that I read that I was okay with sort of saying that this is an excellent book. because like this is all part, like it's an education process reading stuff like this, and when you come across something gross or uncomfortable, the automatic thing is to be like, I want to distance myself from that. I don't want to tell people I ever read that. But Tender as the Flesh is so good and so well written. You might feel dirty for loving it, but you eventually come to terms with the fact that it's okay to love that. And that sort of paved the way for me to like something like Living Dead Girl. Like,
I would argue
I
that
think
Living
you're
Dead Girl is so much worse, though.
oh dear, that's so much worse. At number 3, 11/22/63. This is why I don't look into the type of person the artist is. Because the more I've heard about Stephen King, the dodgier it sort of gets. And I don't want to talk about that. Because 11/22/63, even if I found out bad stuff about him, this is still the book, man. This is so good. It is my number 3 of all time. I loved this book. It's and by the way, it's not really sci-fi, right, Jamie? It's not really sci-fi. It's historical fiction with sci-fi for plot convenience.
Yeah.
This one, so with Replay, they have similar premises, but with 11/22/63, King just has a way of writing the most mundane shit, and it's still so entertaining. And this book was like 36 hours long on audio, and I wasn't bored for a single second of it. Even when he was just walking through a town, just like looking around for like a chapter. I'm just so grossly invested. And the main difference between the two of them is Replay is a really good story. 11/22/63 is a life story. Like this is the information that you get. You get a segment from Replay, and you get an entire lifetime from 11/22/63, so to speak. At number 2, The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto.
Wow.
This, I have no idea why the hell I love this book so much. It's an autobiography. This is that's what I went into it with, and that's what I'm going to let everybody else go into it with.
With lies.
It's okay. It's a good lie because it makes you feel good afterwards. Yeah, I don't know how to talk about this one. It's like his life isn't even like particularly, exciting, right? Like we've got so many other life stories that are so much bigger, more exciting and stuff. I guess it's just like the details that are in there and just the beautiful way that Mitch Albom writes. It just all kind of comes together, and go on.
I feel like you can also, like, because at the back of the book, it's got, like, him talking to all of the real people that are mentioned in the book and how he got their permission to be mentioned and, like, tell parts of their story. Like, and that really shows, because it's, like, even if he's not a real person, like, you almost, like, it feels like he is, because it still, like, shows so many important parts of, like, real people's lives, and with their permission as well, which is always, we love that.
Yeah, so when I recommend this book, I don't tell people that he's not a real person, because when I was listening to it, I was just listening to Mitch Albom because I just really liked his writing. And I'm listening to this one, I'm like, this is really compelling. I gotta check out this guy's music. And yeah, he's not real. That was quite, I was like, wow. To be able to write a character like this, where, by the way, he impersonates the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. He impersonates Elvis Presley at the beginning of the book, and I just bought it. I was like, yeah, no, this sounds real. Yeah, so that's why it had such a profound effect on me, to be able to write an autobiography about somebody that doesn't exist, and then have me be like, I gotta check this guy out. Love that, man. And this one doesn't get talked about enough. it's another one that all three of us gave 5 stars, and it definitely deserves
Why
it.
haven't they made it into a movie or a mini-series yet? It's like, it would be so good.
I reckon
They need to make more
miniseries.
just of anything Mitch Albom
Yes.
into movies or
Yeah.
series.
Has
Yeah.
has Mitch Albom got anything like that?
I don't think
I
so.
think like a TV movie maybe of like 5 people you meet. I think I could be spreading misinformation, but I actually
That
don't know. Nothing to hit the mainstream, which is wild given how great he
yeah,
writes.
that
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
book
there's the 2004 TV movie for Five People You Meet in Heaven.
that feels
Yeah.
like the perfect format for that book though. A TV movie.
Right.
Like that's I don't know why, but that just makes me want to see it more than if it was a blockbuster.
Oh, there's a movie for Tuesdays with Maury as well.
Nice. Hell yeah, let's
I
get
gotta watch
into
that.
uh, the 5 people you meet is like it came up on a list of the greatest books ever written. Like I've seen it in several of these lists. You know, like top 100 books ever, where the Bible is just number one, and that book is always in these lists. So like, how have we only gotten the TV movie and the Tuesdays at Maury's movie? It's crazy. Anyway, on to my number one pick. Throughout every relationship, in every reality, in every timeline, for everything that's going on in life, I will always pick, even if by accident, Tales from the Gas Station by Jack Townsend!
Party popper just then.
We need to take creative control away from Rhiannon. Okay, anyway. That was the best build-up ever. So in the previous video when we did our top 10 of all time that was dated, not only was Magic Strings of Frankie Presto at like number 8, and that was mostly because this time I had a more accurate way of figuring out the order, but I said in that video Tales from the Gas Station probably won't even be on the list. I was wrong. It's just number 1. I didn't even mean to put it there. It just happened that way. Like, I just didn't think about it, and here we are again. Tales from the Gas Station is the greatest book ever written. I mean, it's my favorite. I don't know if I'd say the greatest book ever written, but I love that book. And Jerry, the side character, the supporting role, by the way, just the supporting role in anything ever, is everything that I wish I was as a person. He is the correct amount of silly and the perfect amount of loyal. And he's quite highly intelligent and acts like an idiot. And the protagonist, Jack, is a moron. And I love him too. He's just really stupid. And so that's my top 10.
It's actually just so challenging, like coming up with the top 10 of all time.
Oh man, here look, I'll try and show this the work that went into this. So all these emojis is the work basically. All the books and yeah.
Yet.
And the one with all the ticks is Tales from the Gas Station. It's the only one that didn't lose. Everything else lost at least once. That's how we knew for sure that is my number 1 book.
We're ready for the next top 10. Jordan!
All right, hello y'all. This was a very big challenge to make a top 10. I couldn't fit 10, so here are my 4 honorable mentions. So top 14. I didn't put these honorable mentions in any order, so I guess I'll just talk about them briefly, what they meant a lot to me. First, I can't not put this in a top list, and that's Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. You know, when I read this in high school, well, only when I struggled with reading in high school, and this was one of the few that I could actually read with how easy it is and how moving it was as well. So love this. Another honorable mention will be a poetry collection, and that would be Ariel by Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath is always one of my favorite poets, with how she manages talking about heavy topics in such a beautiful, bittersweet, and poetic way, and I related to that in a good bit. Now, my next honorable mention, it's only my honorable mention because I haven't finished the entire series, but I finished one part of it, and I hope manga counts as books. And that's just the Berserk series. I've written the first 10 volumes of Berserk, and every single panel, every single line of dialogue is just written and drawn to perfection, and it's such an epic tale with a lot of moral complexities that I still think about to this day. Last thing I'll say about Berserk is the hardcover of it is the best book cover ever. It's just a giant black tome with red text. It looks like a biblical text with how
Mhm.
grandiose it is. I just love it. And then for my last honorable mention, people always laugh at me when I bring it up, but I still love it so much, and that is the autobiography of Gucci Mane, the rapper. Um, I will never forget the bookstore owner's face when I checked out Wuthering Heights, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and then Autobiography of Gucci Mane. The bookseller gave me a very confused look, and she just like laughed and was like, "Interesting selection." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is interesting." And you know what? Of those books, this is my favorite one. So and like, of course, it's like a silly autobiography. I don't really trust Gucci Mane's like reliability. He talks about how he's always ethical. That's not the case. And unlike Life of Pi, it has pretty great pictures in it. Um, and in all seriousness, why I love the book, besides it being a very fast-paced memoir about climbing up in the music industry, he also was born in the South where I was, and there are a lot of instances of like police involvement, a lot of social racial issues involved, and it's really cool seeing it from this person's lens or Gucci Mane's lens, who actually experienced it, and not some sort of academic lens. So this is like as real as you're gonna get with hands-on interactions between like tensions in the South. Not saying academia is bad. I will have more academic books up on the list, but this was a great one. Anyways, that's my rambling of my honorable mentions. Let me get started with my top 10. I need to find my book. It's right here. For
You
number
mean
10,
you mean you only had honorable mentions and not a top 15?
yeah.
Some people can
Well, the
count.
top
That's crazy,
14.
bro. That's
I know.
crazy.
It's a top 14 where 11 and through 14 were like all tied. So
Yeah, well, it was
I guess
supposed to be a
it's
top
honorable
10.
mentions.
Do better.
Okay, I will. I will next time. Well, let me start with my top 10 now. For my number 10, I picked this one solely on style and how strange it was, yet also how easy it was for me to read at the time. And that would be this book right over here called Trout Fishing in America by Richard Brodigan. They say this book is about trout fishing. There are chapters talking about trout fishing, then there are chapters talking about Alcoholics Anonymous and wine distribution and Hayman Creek, and chapters range from half the book to just few pages. This is, I would say, an anti-book. If I could describe it, it would be a shit post from the Beat era writing. But I remember reading this and feeling just inspired by it, even though none of it really made sense. Um, and this was one of the first audiobooks I recorded because when I listened to the official audiobook, it was just this simple old man reading it so peacefully. And when I look through the style, it's like all caps writing and, jumbled up gibberish. So if anyone wants to check out this audiobook of mine, it's one of my most disliked ones because of just how unprofessional I read it. I literally scream into the mic. One commenter said he almost crashed his bike when my volume got loud. So And that's all due to the great words of Richard Brodigan. So shouts out to him. That's my number 10. Well, I will talk very shortly about this book, the next one, my number 9, because it's been a while since I've read it, and I can't remember every part of the plot, but how it made me feel, I'll never forget. And that's All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. Would never expect a Western to be in my top 10. I am not into Western movies or Western books. But the way the main character felt relatable as like a teenager that was kind of just burnt out with just a overbearing workforce down in America at the time and wanting to just move to another country and finding people then. Yes.
Is there a villain in that book?
Is there a villain in the book? That is a great question. And all I know is that horrific stuff happens, but is it due to the acts of a particular villain? I can't say. It might just, I think it's just consequential. So,
Yeah.
Have you read it, Finley?
No, Cormac McCarthy is responsible for two of the greatest villains ever written, which is Judge Holden and Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. So
for No Country.
So
right.
that would be a reason to read another Cormac McCarthy.
Right, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, Old Country is incredible as well. The reason why I picked this out of all of his books is, I'm sure y'all know, Cormac McCarthy can get very bleak and dismal and graphic at times. This is one of the few that I actually left feeling a little more hopeful and positive than usual. And to see a writer as traumatized as Cormac give a glimpse of hope for the future made me feel great. So All Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy is my number 9. Now, my number 8 is a short story collection, and that is The Interpreter Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. Obviously, this relates to me a lot because it's an Indian author talking about the experience of being an Indian immigrant, whether it's to the UK or the US. I believe even though she's British, a lot of these are immigrations to immigrants into the United States. And a lot of these issues talking about like the typical Indian traditions clashing with Western cultures keeps coming up back and forth, and excellently written, Pulitzer Prize winner, very well deserved. These short stories aren't that long, super easy to read, and range from topics such as the clash between obvious colorisms, racism, and feminism, and how that's addressed between two parts of the world. So, love this one a lot. Now, number 7, I was looking for my hard copy of number 7, and I need to find it. But this is I love LGBT literature, and this is my LGBTQ pick, my number 1, and that would be On Earth, We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. That is one of the most surreal, poetic stories of a immigrant writing a letter to his mother who does not have the ability to read, and in that process, he's confessing a lot of truths about himself. Whereas it does seem to be semi-autobiographical from the author's perspective as well. And not only does it talk about coming out and the liberation of coming out in an LGBTQ perspective, it's going on during a war at the time and immigration and dealing with assimilation as well. So not only do you get a beautiful story of someone finding out their true identity from an LGBTQ perspective, you also see that tied in with the chaos of war going on and immigration and dealing with assimilation on a racial level. So with all of that together, told in a poetic prose that's not chronological and more so about like getting ideas out, that really left a mark that I'll never forget. So On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, my number 7. What was that? I'm sorry.
Nice.
Oh,
I really like their writing.
By Ocean Vuong.
The Emperor of Gladness.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, their writing style is just very good.
Yeah,
so
very dreamlike, very endearing. Yeah, thank you. On to my next pick for number 6. I would say this is my favorite Native American literature book, and that would be There by Tommy Orange. That book talks about, it starts out with the introduction of, just what Native Americans had to go through in the beginning with the United States and the horrors. But then it quickly shifts into the modern era where it shows the perspectives of so many different characters that range in different age groups, generations, and like writing styles. So you will have one Native American who's super passionate about liberation and the cause, and then you'll have another Native American that's literally like a Discord mod basement dweller that doesn't want to step outside and doesn't feel like they have the need to really speak out about it. And the book when I was reading the book, I was like, okay, I'm liking all these characters, but how does it all come together in the end? And oh my goodness, when I reached the ending, I remember being in a coffee shop and I was that boy with a book with tears down my face, and the person next to me looked a little bit freaked out. So I hope that person's okay. I'm sorry if I bothered you, but yeah, no, There by Tommy Orange was a beautifully written book with great characters, with a very very intense ending that I'll never forget. Um, so for my number 5, this is probably my favorite graphic novel, period. And that will be the Persepolis series by Marjane Satrapi. Also a movie too, with the pretty much the identical animation style because she had rights in the production rights. This is an autobiographical. This is a memoir. Sorry, a memoir. Graphic novel about Persepolis growing up in the Middle East and dealing with the wars going on throughout the early 2000s, and then her growing up into adulthood and how that changed her and how that shaped her experiences. I don't know even where to begin with what I love about this book, but I'll just say yes. Sorry, Finley.
No, I was just gonna ask you to show me the pictures.
Yes. So the picture, it is a black and white. That's graphic. Yeah, sorry about that. That it's mostly like black and white. It looks like a kind of like a weekly comic strip you would get in newspapers uh, that reflect the life and periods. I think if I split through too much, it'll be spoilers, so I won't do that. Um, yeah, and the style is very incredible. And I will say, why it's in the top for me is because of how well it handles the seriousness of it while being so funny, so funny. Um,
uh, that
I'll
that
spoil.
Sorry, that
Yeah,
art style, and the expressions and stuff reminded me so much of the Fantastic Mr. Fox. Is that the sort of humor that book's going for?
in a way, yeah, it is like if you watch the movie, it has that fast pace kind of this happens, whimsical Wes Anderson that you would find in Fantastic Mr. Fox. However, the subject matter is like actually real, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's not gonna get into that level of goofiness. But I'll just say this: the most important words in this graphic novel is Jekyll Maxon, and I'll just leave it at that. So. Anyways,
Allow it.
on to my number 4 pick. Again, I'm sure y'all can tell now I'm more of a nonfiction person. I need to read more fiction. And, but the way I like nonfiction books is I like to gauge it as like, okay, what if this is completely fiction? What if how is the adventure? How is the story? And man, whether or not, I believe that this is everything that happened in here is 100% true. But even if not, the pacing, the events that happened in the autobiography of Malcolm X are absolutely incredible and riveting. The movie of this is 3 hours and 45 minutes long, and when you watch the movie, you will not be bored for a single minute. And the movie doesn't even cover like 25% of what happens in the actual autobiography of Malcolm X. So, incredible civil rights activist during the 1960s that wanted liberation in a more just and even way and wanted to expedite that, which I very much respect. But I would say all like political commentary aside, what I love so much about this book is just how he started his his beginnings were a literal nobody in the middle of a city called Omaha in the state of Nebraska in the United States with not really the best support system and how he grew up to be such a prominent leader today. So autobiography of Malcolm X, um, yeah, number 4, incredible. Number 3, I would say is my favorite work of fiction, and that is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I really like the character story. A lot of people consider Grapes of Wrath to be John Steinbeck's best. I personally lean more towards East of Eden. It's a generational story that touches on the biblical concept of Cain and Abel, and shows like how they're doomed, how some people are just doomed for destiny, like how they are destined for doom or prosperity. I jumbled the words there. So I'm sorry. But it takes an interesting spin on it in the later parts. Hope this isn't spoiling. On a thematic level, it showcases some characters that are destined for doom, destined for failure, but them being so scared about it, them knowing these characters not wanting to reach down this path. And one thematic point that this book pushes for me is that the absolute worst thing you can do, no matter what your destiny is or what you hold for the future, is to not speak up, to not use your voice, or just to hide yourself away. So this book for me, I don't think I would have done my YouTube channel if it wasn't for this book. Like I was very self-conscious about like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I say something that upsets someone? What if I do something that will cause harm? This book told me, if you live your whole life trying to hide yourself for others, then you're failing from the start. So that's one takeaway. But besides that, nice epic story about of some families going through generations in the Salinas Valley. So love this. Now, number 2 would be, I don't have the book with me. It's a autobiography called, not autobiography, sorry, a non-fictional book called Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's a modern written book about a letter from the author to his son, basically how to navigate a world with an oppressive police force over here. Just want to say, I do apologize if most of my books are about America, and I'm talking to Kiwis and Aussies. I'll try to sell it.
It's okay. We care about your culture and want to hear about it. We're all
Thank
inclusive
you.
here.
Appreciate it.
We've even got a woman.
Thank you.
And a gay.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and I
Nice.
guess we have
And now a
Jamie.
melanin. So, got the whole compass. Nice. So anyways, with Between the World and Me, reasons why I love it is that it's super short and very informative about what goes on in modern day, but also insanely poetic. Almost every line I ended up highlighting, and then I was like, what's the point if I'm highlighting the whole book? And yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates knows how to write in such a way that doesn't sugarcoat the brutality of our modern era, but also I don't know. I'm sorry. He's actually just a dismal writer. One of his critiques was actually, this book's really sad. There is no hope. What's the point? And he just responded, I think something along the lines of, I wish I wish I could write you a happy fictional book or a happy ending, but this is just the way it is from the way I see it. So, Between the World and Me, I mean, even though it is so dismal, it did leave me feeling with a sense of I at least have to try, I at least have to be aware of this and help out in whatever way I can. So, and yes, I believe it also won the National Book of Year award, which leads me to my number one pick because, and I will preface this number one pick, unlike most of the picks from 2 to 10. Oh, you're already doing the drum roll. Okay, let me just say the title. I was gonna give a long old preamble, but no. Okay, I'll just say it. It's the autobiography of Asada Shakur. That is. Thank you for the yippee. Uh, Yeah, this book absolutely changed my life. Everything I said earlier about books on racial commentary with Between the World and Me, autobiography of Gucci Mane, the autobiography of Malcolm X, this takes a whole other level just because of how someone was actually able to resist against oppression and survive and flee to another country and gain solace. She did unfortunately pass away a few months ago, but yeah, and I will say, if anyone tells me that they like fiction and what book, if they want to get into nonfiction, I would recommend this book absolutely if someone is into dystopian literature. I would absolutely recommend this to someone who's into, dystopian novels, dystopian fiction, like I would say The Hunger Games, for example, because this is The Hunger Games in real life. You're like, this person is dealt with having to trust nobody when they are on trial for a crime that they did not even commit in an area where that is heavily surveilled and oppressed, and having to escape from prison and fleeing the country of one of our most strongest surveillance states, or the most oppressive or strongest prison system in the entire country or entire world, sorry, to go to Cuba and actually live a prosperous life for what you believe in. When I was reading this, I was like, how can this be nonfiction? How did this actually come to fruition? But that's mine. And with that, that's my number one. This is as close as an uprising to resistance that I've ever seen, and I think this is why it's my favorite book of all time. And yeah, that's my top 10.
Hell yeah!
Cool.
Love it.
Nice. Definitely some books that I'll have to look at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you saw me looking that way, it's because I was searching them up, not that I wasn't listening.
No, I figured. I appreciate it. I'd be sure to read y'all's books as well. Totally.
Yeah,
And
actually,
let y'all know that everyone is a Hufflepuff. But
that's actually something that we should try and do this year. I mean, us three. You're welcome to also join, but I think that we should try and read each other's top tens. So that it feels like we need to do that.
I feel like my taste in books is so childish after that now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
So I've made a critical blunder by putting him second. I should have made him go last because now
you can definitely in large chunks cut it to put me at the end if you want to. No worries, no problem.
Because you make us all Jamie's close to being your style but his is almost entirely gay. Me and Rihanna, we just read book for fun. You guys are
I like with the
serious?
wizard stick go flick.
I have to say,
I like
usually
when the
I'm
cats
a bit
go.
more serious, but this is all fantasy. I was looking at it, I was like, oh wow, this is a lot of fantasy.
Yeah, mine's if it's not fantasy, then it's sci-fi.
Mine was all over the place, but there wasn't a single non-fiction.
On to our next top 10, we have Rhiannon.
Okay, well, I've been terrible here. I have 7 honorable mentions, so I'm gonna rattle through them fairly quickly.
So you have a top 17.
No, I have a top 10 and 7 more souls that didn't make the list.
That feels like a top 17. That's a bigger number than 15. Yeah. Okay. Let's hear what's number 17?
No, they're not in any particular order because I couldn't. It was hard enough ranking 10. I'm not ranking all of them. So in no particular order, we have The Green Mile by Stephen King. That's an amazing book, devastating. I would probably argue that the movie is maybe a little bit better, just because Stephen King is a brutal asshole, and that ending is devastating, and it's not quite as devastating in the movie. Then we have, I guess, kind of next to each other, the first in the series is The Watered Man by Peter V.E. Bratt and The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. They're both...
Wow, that made it into an honorable mention. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Wow. You really loved that book.
Yes. Yeah, this is I'm fearful for how this is gonna look, because I literally have a book on here that I read 2 days ago, so I think it's gonna get quite fucked this year.
Rhiannon doesn't have object permanence yet, so it's all just recent books.
Then we have also two that are kind of similar is The Book Eaters by Suni Dean, I think that's how you say it, and Blood of a Bright Haven by M.L. Wang. They're both like feminist fantasies, I want to say. So
I don't know. Hang on. I don't know if Blood Over Bright Haven is a feminist fantasy. I think it's just a good fantasy. I don't know about all this feminism.
What? It's
Okay, fine. Would you say that Hunger Games
feminist.
is Hunger Games feminist?
Not as feminist, but just somewhat.
No. But yeah.
I suppose it is a bit more feminist, isn't it?
I feel like
it's
with
strange that I enjoyed it then.
once you start like questioning one, I'm not phrasing this very well, but one like inequality or wrongness in the world, the others start like falling in as well. Like they all follow from each other. Who's my actual list? So at number 10 we have, which is probably my first favorite book. Oh shit, I missed one of the honorable mentions. I'm so sorry. I completely lied.
That's okay.
My first favorite book was The Storyteller by Antonia Michaelis, and it's just like a young adult's romance book, but it was like one of the first books that I like put on Goodreads and was like, yes, this book's so good. It's very tragic. It's like a tragic romance. It's like Romeo and Juliet-esque, but it's very cute. And I'm going to reread it this year and hopefully it stands up. But anyway, the real list. So number 10 is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. And Finn and Jamie are currently struggling with this, but I adore this book, and it has just the best narration I think ever. I love Death as a narrator. He manages to make one of the most devastating things in human history kind of funny at certain points, which I think is an impressive feat. Then we have This Is How You Lose the Time War at number 9 by, I don't know how to say this, but Emal El Mota and Max Gladstone. I don't really know how to describe this book. It's very poetry written. It's a lesbian romance, but it's also like an epic time travel, like intergalactic, like adventure.
I think the description you're looking for is artsy.
That's it. It's like every page of that book, there's a quote that you could like get tattooed or like put on a pretty background, you know, like it's just so beautifully written and also surprising. I feel like you don't really see the end coming. It's still got a good time twist story to it, even though you do really have to pay attention because it's written very artsy-fartsy.
It is a very confusing read, but once you get through that, like it's very good at it.
It's just beautiful. I love that book. And then, to sound like a broken record, number 8, we have 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I think the same with The Green Mile, like, it makes me laugh, like, I think it's kind of funny that Stephen King is known as a horror author, when I think all his best books aren't horror at all, because he loves, like, Stephen King is a slut for the details, and those details kind of, like, are unnecessary in horror, like, when I read Cujo, I was just like, I don't care about the cereal. Get back to the rabid dog. But with 11/22/63, it's like, like Ben said, like he's just walking down the street, he's doing nothing, but I'm eating it all up. I love it. And then at number 7, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which is how do you really I don't really know how to describe it. It's about a girl who makes a deal with the devil to avoid, she's born in the 14th century and she makes a deal with the devil to avoid the like arranged marriage life and baby making future that she's destined for. But in return, as soon as someone loses sight of her, like they leave the room, they go to sleep, they forget that she ever existed. And so she goes through life not really being there until she meets someone who does remember her. And it's just adorable and it's magical and it just really leaves you feeling warm and fuzzy. And then this is the big surprising one, and it's the only one that I have on hand, is The White Octopus Hotel by Alexandra
Oh.
Bell. I read this 2 days ago, and it's just, I loved it so much. I think I'm a bit of a slut for time travel stories, I'm realizing as I'm looking at this book, at this list, but I can't really say much without spoiling it. But it surprises you. It's so cute, and I think I enjoyed that it's like it's about personal tragedy and like loss and like trying to continue on with life when you've gone through something terrible, but it doesn't tie it up in a nice bow that I feel like most books do or most stories do, where they're just like, yeah, and then like they went through this changing moment and they're fine, and they don't. It's like, they move on and they're fine now. That doesn't really happen. They're still like forever broken, forever grieving, and that's okay. That's part of it. But yeah, and it had a really surprising ending as well, but yeah. Then at number 5, kind of cheated a bit. We have both The Hunger Games and Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I feel like I don't really need to say anything. Everyone's read that. If you haven't, fucking read it. How have you not read that? But Suzanne Collins is just an absolute mastermind, and she scares me.
I love
and then,
I love how like that's the first book that she wrote and the most recent, and the disparity between her growth as an author is so crazy. Like I saw so much growth in Sunrise on the Reaping, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and I appreciate like so much her like I guess dedication and planning to her story, because so often you read like prequels and it's just like, you made this up. You weren't thinking that when you wrote the original, and it shows. No, with Suzanne Collins, there's like every little piece you're like, oh my god, that was hinted in the first one, even though you didn't even mention. It's just amazing, and you can tell that she just must have like volumes of Hunger Games planning somewhere in her house. Like, she planned all of it, and it's just amazing. And then number 4, I have a tie, which I had last year, and you guys didn't complain that much, so I've kept it. So I feel like they're also kind of a similar vibe. So 4 tied is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir and The Ferryman by Justin Cronin. They're both sci-fi dystopians, where Project Hail Mary is arguably definitely like a lot better researched and like a lot more sciencey emphasis on the science and the science fiction. But The Ferryman just like reads so beautifully and so easily, and it's like 500 pages long, and you just get to the end of it and you're like, oh shit. Again, I don't really know what to say about either of those without spoiling them. You just have to read them. You just have to trust me. And number 3, not to sound like Finn's broken record once again, is Tender as the Flesh and I searched up the author, is Augustina Bazterrica. Fuck me. But
yeah, I've never attempted to say her last name.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about Tender as the Flesh. I still think about that book at least once a week. It's really life-changing, and I think as the years go by and the real world that we live in gets more and more dystopian, it just gets more and more plausible, and that's terrifying. And then at number 2, we have The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang. That book is just phenomenal.
Nothing drags.
Yeah, her ability to like the way she writes is just amazing. Like, half the book is one day, and then there's a fight scene that's like 250 pages, and then it's like 3 years in like 100 pages, and like it just like you don't question that at all. It flows perfectly. Like her ability to like write morally grey characters is just phenomenal, and yeah, I think as a Western woman, I struggle a lot with like getting married, having babies, like all that, like, and this book like really makes it a lot more understandable and sympathetic, I think, which is hard to do when you're a raging bitch like me.
I think with ML Wang, so to compare her to Stephen King's mundane situations are always entertaining. ML Wang somehow stretches out everything. She stretches out the best parts, and it never gets mundane. So like, not only does she avoid the mundane, she somehow just makes you forget that mundane exists. And so there's just no break from everything that's going on, but you're just eating it up, and it never becomes boring.
Yeah, I think I read that book in like 2 days, and it's a fucking tomb.
Yeah, that book's massive.
Yeah, when y'all were describing it, I was very intrigued about just the pacing of it all. Like, how is this even possible?
That's what I was looking for, pacing.
Right.
The pacing is all over the goddamn place.
But it works so well. It's incredible. And then my number one, which Finn and Jamie will not be surprised about in this line, is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Yay!
I didn't see that coming.
No, sorry. Oh my gosh. I went to a clap.
That was the wrong choice.
I'm just looking at it. It's over there somewhere. Yeah, I just love that book so. It's so funny and it's so clever. I just love when something is so diabolically stupid and yet so intelligent in its stupidity. I can't. It's so good. It's my favorite thing ever. And yeah. Oh, I forgot one of my honorable mentions is Slow Gods by Claire North. Lol. There's another one I read this year. So having a good year so far.
Awesome.
But yeah. I feel like that was way too fast, but oh well.
Yeah, it's only because fucking old mate is putting us to shame, man. It's okay, we're learning, right?
If you want me to 2x speed it, I can do the whole thing again, 2x speed.
No, you were perfect.
Okay.
You were perfect.
Okay.
We hate you for being perfect. When you were rewriting this list recently, did you think that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was gonna stay as number one or even be on the list?
No, but then as I was writing it, I was just like, I can't, like, it is objectively not as good as most of the books on this list, but it is a subjective list to me, and therefore I can't lie to myself. It is still my favorite book of all time.
Yeah, that's a real
How many times
feeling.
have you read it?
Like 3 times?
Okay.
I'm not like it's.
Oh.
I would read it
You don't
more. but
reread.
I don't really reread very often. The only things I've reread is Hitchhikers and The Hunger Games. I think the biggest struggle was trying to decide where to put The Hunger Games. I was kind of tempted to put that at number 1, to be honest.
I mean, like, I love The Hunger Games, and I love it more than Sword of Kaigen. Like, I love it a lot more than Sword of Kaigen. But I would never put The Hunger Games above Sword of Kaigen.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think at the end of this year, The Hitchhikers is probably going to get bumped off. It'll never truly leave the list, but it's probably going to go down.
And that's okay. We change. Apparently you and I didn't change all that much.
Hey, this fucking thing really threw a spanner in my works. That was not part of the plan. And again, I don't really want you guys to read it, because if you don't like it, I'll be really sad. And I don't want you to make me think any harder about it and change my opinion.
All right, look, if I hate it, the only thing I'll say is that I didn't like it. I won't go into detail.
I feel like you could like it. If you like Ali LaRue, I'm hopeful.
I feel like I will like it. From how you described it just then, I was like, oh, okay.
Me liking Addie LaRue was the biggest upset of the year when that happened, man. Like that was crazy. I didn't think I'd like it. I actually went into it being like, all right, I'm just gonna read this because Rhiannon really liked it and Jamie said it was good. And then I read it, I'm like, this is fucking excellent. Actually, did I read it before you, Jamie? That might have been one that I read before you.
I think we might have read it at the same time. Or like very close together. For sure. I will preface my list and say I have put series on here and books from series. Mainly if I haven't finished the series and like if I love like one of the books, the book is on there. But
That's
there
okay.
is some on there.
It's a personal list. Like I interpret it as its book rather than series, and you do you, man.
I will.
Well, you are gonna have to do you because I can't do you. Too far away, mate. Because that's the problem.
Yeah. And we're ready for the last top 10 of all time. And it's me! Alrighty, I'll preface this and say this was really hard. I like changed things around a lot and I just had to not think too much and just go for it, I guess. I have 3 honorable mentions. The first one I don't have a physical copy of is The Body by Stephen King. It was the first Stephen King book I ever read, and I just love. Oh, thank you.
This is your copy.
It is just a great coming of age story. I love any book with strong characters that grow and change throughout the book. But that one is there. The next is.
Can I ask something about that book? I forgot.
Yeah.
Is that the one with that got adapted into Stand By Me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The most
It's very-
beautiful things are the hardest to say because words diminish them. That's
My
Jamie's
favorite quote of
quote.
all time is from that.
Nice.
Very profound. My next honorable mention is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It is just. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. It was a very slow, a slow build book, but it is just really good. And I think with a lot of books on my list, like they're all very character driven, and these are 2 amazing characters for sure. And the next one is my only TJ Klune book up on this list, which I'm surprised because I love TJ Klune so much, is Under the Whispering Door. A lot of people like House on the Cerulean Sea, but I think this is a lot better. How do I explain this one? Basically, through the main character's death, he learns how to live. And it's just really beautiful and gay and lovely. Alrighty, on to the real list. And again, this is really difficult. Some of them are books in a series, but I just like the book, and some are series. The full series of this one isn't on here yet because it's not completed yet. But we've got Songs of Chaos. I don't have the first book on me, so I've got the second book. But Ascendant by Michael R. Miller. It is a very, very pleasant fantasy series. Yes, one.
This is your
They-
copy.
It is my copy, but it's yours now. It is about a cook's son, and he works at a dragon keep, and he finds a damaged dragon egg and decides to raise it, which isn't allowed in this world. And it's just a beautifully made world with. It reads quite not juvenile, but like young adult for sure. But it does hit as a high fantasy. I really enjoyed that book. Like it just brought back a little spark. Hi.
Is that sort of how you describe Demon Awakens?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
No. Demon Awakens was a bit more serious. But Songs of Chaos, it had that light, like, I'm going to save this dragon egg, I'm going to protect it, but then, like, real bad things happen, lots of trauma happens, and it changes them. So it does have dark themes, but it is... Yeah, it's really hard to describe, but I really enjoyed it. It's... I just can't wait for the 5th book.
See, I was wondering when you were mentioning the series if it's meant for generally a younger audience or if it's like more like an older audience. Because the art, like I shouldn't judge a book by the cover, but the covers do kind of remind me loosely of the Aragon series. And I was wondering how it actually compares when it comes to like the seriousness of it.
I haven't read Aragon, unfortunately. I would love to make that comparison. Like, but what I know of Aragon, yes, I would make that
Okay.
comparison. But I'll have to read it and actually do a comparison.
Okay.
It takes a lot of, like the author said it himself, he took a lot of tropes in fantasy that he loved and just did those. So it is a very tropey book where like someone that isn't meant to be a dragon rider becomes a dragon rider and he has to overcome these things, and it's really pleasant. Alrighty, book 9 on my list. We've already talked about this 3 times. 11, 22, 63.
I can't believe that it made it to all of our top 10s. That's crazy.
It is.
I am adding it as we speak.
I'll do my little spiel. I didn't expect to love this book as much as I did. The time travel aspect, I expected it to be a bigger play, and it really wasn't. It was really more of a historical fiction. But I just love the love story in this. I love the mundane things that really shouldn't have been interesting, but I wanted more. And the little town that he moves to, it's there could be like a whole book just set there, and it could be mundane as hell, and I would read it. I feel like we've all said our little piece on that one, so I'll leave that there. Next one is a series. So as a whole, we've got the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. Quite hard to describe fantasy series. Basically, it's a very unique magic system, and I really enjoyed that magic system. It plays off the colors of the rainbow. There are certain people that can manipulate this certain color, and the certain color has different abilities. And then there's a couple people that have 2 different types of power within them, and some that have even more. And then there's one person that has all 7, and they kind of create balance to the world. And without that balance, things can kind of go crazy. It's just really great. And again, like, I'm a character person. It's just some really great character work and twists. I think this was one of the first series that just had a twist in it that completely changed how I view everything else before that twist. Like,
Just to add to what you're saying, the twist as a character development is the only time I've ever seen that in a book, and it is so good. That character is like, and I'm not even sure which one it is. Like, that's how this character is fucking written, but he's my favorite, and I'm not sure which one it is. Um, and also, side note, the audiobook for that by Graphic Audio has some of the best voice actors that you've never heard of before. And one man in particular who voices the main character, his name's Joe Brack.
one thing I really enjoyed about this is the magic system. So when they use too much of their certain magic, their eyes start filling up with that color, which was really cool. And the more they use it, like, it fills their eye. And when they use too much, their eyes like shatter, and their eyes become the full color, and they just go basically crazy. So I really enjoyed that.
Rhiannon is going to fucking devour that magic system.
Yeah.
That's going to be in her next year's top 10 of all time. Like, I predict that.
She finally listens to me. The next one, what are we up to? Number 7. It's quite a basic pick. I feel like I've seen so many people talk about this book, but it is genuinely a incredible book. It's The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. It's just huge. It's like not just in size, but like, it's really amazing. The world he's building, the Cosmere, is just crazy, and the characters in it are wild. And I really enjoyed how I don't mind a slow book. I actually quite like a slow book. I like to take time getting to know the characters, like, inside and out. And then in the last 100, 200 pages, it just goes nuts, which I really enjoy as well. So, Way of Kings. And that's separately. I haven't finished the series yet. And then a series. I'm surprised. I've put this up higher than both Rhiannon and Finn. The Demon Cycle. I know. We're very surprised. Basically, it's a world where there are demons. They come out at night. They come out from the core of the world and start walking and causing havoc at night. And everyone else have to use wards to protect themselves at night. It's very good. And it was one of those books that just like reignited my reading. So it got me back in, and here I am. I feel like you both said a little bit about it. Yeah, and just the character work as well. Jardir, Roger, they're just amazing characters. Yeah.
I just remembered the audiobook for that is also a graphic audio with amazing voice actors, and the voice actor I was talking about before voices Roger, and that's
really?
just who he is. That's Roger's voice forever and always. So when I was listening to Lightbringer, that was just Roger.
He's Roger. And now my top rated series in this list is, wait, what number am I on? 5. So number 5, we've got the Lycanius trilogy. So this is by James Islington. He became very popular with The Will of the Many. I read The Will of the Many and decided, okay, he's got another series, I'll read that. This is very good. It is also very hard to explain and why I enjoyed it. I love the characters. How do I explain the magic system? Basically, there are almost godlike people in these books, and when they die, they just get reborn later on. There's a big uprising like 50 years before the series starts. The regular folk take over, the kings take over these people, and put a lot of rules in place for the magic system and basically these godlike people, which I've forgotten the name that they go by, they're like hunted. Like, so when they're found, they're like killed again and they just have to repeat. But it is really good. Like, I was looking at my list earlier and I was like, how am I going to articulate this series and why I love it so much? And I don't know. But it's just so good. And just one of the characters in there, amazing. And it's really hard to explain without giving spoilers, but he's just very dynamic and complex, which is really cool. Alrighty. Book 4. Project Hail Mary! I loved this book so much. I just loved how it made very intense science make sense. Like, I'm not an intelligent person, but it just made sense. And
without being patronizing too.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
impressive.
I completely dumb it down. And I thought the humor in it was really good as well. It wasn't over the top. The main character is just really good. The side character is the best side character in any book ever.
I don't feel like he had to dumb anything down. Like, Andy Weir is such a good author that he was able to teach us and not dumb it down. Like, I didn't feel like he was, like it wasn't patronizing at all, and I understood everything that was going on, and I'm not a scientist, and it wasn't dumbed down.
And plus, just in that setting as well. So basically, the main character wakes up on a spaceship. He can't remember how he got there or why he's there, and he finds 2 other people in the cabin with him, but they're dead. So he's all on his own. He can't even remember his name or anything like that. And basically, he slowly remembers why he's there, how he got there, and he's there to save the Earth. It's just so good. I really, really love this book. Definitely one of my favorite sci-fi, hands down.
Cannot wait for the movie to come out. My God.
I hope it's good. I really...
They fuck it up. I don't think I'm ever going to watch another movie again.
They're going to have a lot of hate on their hands because this is a stupidly popular book, and every time I come across it at the end of whatever the video is, they're like, the movie's coming out and it better be good.
My top 3, honestly, they could all be interchangeable. Like, my top 3, because they are all so different, could easily be number 1. The third book, which I only read last year, but it's already at number 3, which is crazy, is a very personal book for me. It's All Down Darkness Wide. It was just so beautiful, and it perfectly encapsulated my experience with being gay and my internalized homophobia and all of that. And then it switched it flipped it around and then also showed, like, I deal with a lot of mental health issues and things like that. And then it showed that from an outsider's point of view, which I really liked, watching someone else help someone with mental health issues. So it was just, this is a very personal book for me. And I loved it. I loved it so much.
just as another side note, I read that. I literally finished it last night, and I read it because Jamie, it was his number one for last year, and he sort of mentioned that this is a bit personal, but I don't know, whatever. But when I was listening to it, I was like, hey, this is a book either about Jamie or Jamie's boyfriend. Like, yeah, no, it really, it just is Jamie's book. And it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I have a feeling, give it a couple years, it'll be my easy number one. Like, once I reread it, I think, yeah, but we'll see. But in a year, it's already up there. That's pretty awesome, because I need to kind of sit with things and actually digest like what I read a little bit. Ready. And now book 2. This was my favorite book for probably about 10 years. It's just great. And Jordan actually mentioned it before. It's Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's just it's like a warm hug. It's just, I've reread this book maybe like 10 times. It's definitely a comfort read. And just Charlie. I would just want to give Charlie the biggest hug. Like, it's okay, Charlie. It's fine. You're okay. I love you. It's fine. And I also love how it was written as well. Like, it was written in letters to this random person, and you never find out who the person is. So yeah, don't know what else I could say about this book, but it's a coming of age story. Charlie just starts high school, and yeah, he just struggles a lot, but he's okay now, I hope. So that's my number 2. And the book that bumped that book off, my goodness. Well, Rhiannon and Finn will know what this is. The Sword of Kaiga! Just beautiful. Just amazing. How she can do a 250-page fight scene and make it feel like it was 20 pages. Incredible. Like, it's so good. Basically, it's
She's a witch.
She is a witch. How does she do it? But again, with my top list, character development is one of the things I absolutely love. And the more you read of these characters, especially the mum, I'm not too good at remembering names, unfortunately. But the mum in this, like, the more you learn about her and what she's been through, it just really changes the things. And this, at its core, is a book about family, but wrapped up in this fantasy world. And it was just really beautiful. And it also touches on, like, a corrupt.
Can you repeat earlier what you were talking about in regards to like the misinformation, the corrupt government, etc.? Because I'm intrigued about that within Sword of Kaigen.
So the story is like set in a very small like village that follow a lot of traditional ways, and basically, like, if you think of a samurai style Japan, but with the modern side as well, but they're very like separated, and basically there's a lot of misinformation from the government side that alienates the small village, basically. And they're like one of the last villages that really follow these really old customs. And the magic system in this is really cool as well. It's almost like elemental magic, I would say, how I would describe it. But Yeah, I need to reread it. It's very good, and just a lot of character development. I love. Yeah, that's the Sword of Kaigen, my number one. We did it, guys.
We did
There's
it.
so many double ups. We're terrible.
I'm surprised at how many double ups us three had, because I swear there wasn't before.
I like
I'm-
it though. And I mean, it gives me a great reading list and
Yeah.
to start with. So.
I've got so many
Yeah.
tabs open because I searched up like every single one of Jordan's. So I'm excited.
I can't even see my tabs on my like they're all like super microscopic. All right, I do want to ask this one question. What should my next read be? And I need it to be unanimous between all three of you. Should it be Project Hail Mary, Sword of Kaigen, or 11/22/63?
Magic Strings of Frankie Presto.
Shut up.
I would say from us as a group, Project Hail Mary, because that's our
Yeah.
top as a group.
Yeah,
I
actually,
do
that
feel
one
like
was, yeah.
the one that would be most up your alley from what you told us would be 11/22/63.
Yeah.
Because it just reads
So
as
read that second.
non-fiction.
Read that
and-
I will be sure to read all three. All three seem very riveting. But yeah, I guess I'll start with Project Hail Mary first, or 11. I think I'll do 11/22 because Stephen King, I know his style, and I can't get bored with a Stephen King book. It's almost impossible.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to just have a look at your top 10 and just see, is there anything that you want to talk about on that list? Like, hey, I forgot to mention in this book, something like that.
There was one thing that I did forget to mention.
Of course you
if
have
you
more.
could
Of course
include
you
it.
have
I'm
more. So
sorry.
I was actually talking to the people that
Yeah.
failed here. We failed,
Okay.
okay? You've already succeeded. Nah, I'm joking.
No,
Oh.
let the master work. Shut
Yeah,
up,
no,
Sid.
you-
No,
Carry
not
on.
a master.
You shut up,
A
Rhiannon.
very quick side note I wanted to include. If you can edit it in, that'd be great. If not, no worries. About my number one, Asada, it is Asada Shakur, who happens to be the godmother of Tupac Shakur. So
Oh,
very
that's-
poetic in that sense. That's why I asked you earlier if
Yeah.
Kiwis know who Tupac is.
He just
Because
randomly
Yeah, who
they're
Tupac
messaged me.
is.
It's like, hey, do Kiwis
Yeah.
know who Tupac is?
So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there. That's it.
You beauty.
I guess since I missed it completely until I saw it at the when I reached the end of the physical list and then saw it just scratched at the bottom. Slow Gods by Claire North. Like, it's about two godlike characters and she manages to make them so sympathetic, which I think is a very impressive feat. And it has one of the best concepts of space that I think I've ever read. I mean, I feel like you find out pretty early, so I'm just going to tell you, is like if you travel through like space between like hundreds of millions of light years, like it's almost like it's alive and there's like this darkness, there's this sinisterness that like touches you and stays with you, and it's like the price of traveling through space, and I think it's just one of the best concepts I've seen in sci-fi.
That has like a real
That's
life
all.
equivalent, right? Like people that go to the moon come back and they've got like a whole different view on reality.
Yeah, there's lots of astronauts just like lose all interest in being an astronaut once they go to space. They're like the thing we should be looking at is our Earth.
Yeah. That's okay. Maybe I will read it now that you say that. It's been.
Just gonna get
it's on my
past the
list, man.
neo-pronouns. Once you get past the neo-pronouns, it's fantastic. It's just a little hard to read when you're a bigot.
Yeah, no, fuck, it's gonna be impossible for me to read it. I was born to hate. I am.
I think therefore I am.
Just read 11/22/63.
Get on it.
Honestly, of my top three being Tales from the Gas Station Magic Strings and 11/22/63. I'd say I'm looking forward most to rereading 11/22/63, but mostly because I've only read that once. But of those three, I'd say it's the most engaging. See, Tales from the Gas Station is hilarious and actually ingeniously written, and it has a guy that I just strive to be. But 11/22/63 is it just ticks all the boxes. Like whatever boxes there are, it ticks them all. Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on the miniseries if y'all have seen it? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Excellent. Like that, I was shocked at how good it was. And Jake Epping is what's his name? The actor. The guy.
James Franco.
James Franco. Yeah, no.
I hate James Franco.
I do too,
Yeah,
but
we don't have to. We like the art, not the artist. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. Can you get past the James Franco-ness and just focus on it's not ruined by James Franco?
I still like the original Spider-Man movie, the Tobey.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's my favorite superhero movie.
Wait, why do we hate Tobey Maguire? What did he do?
No. James Franco is in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. You're so true.
Yeah.
So true.
So yeah, Spider-Man 2 I'll still love. So I think I can make it. I think I'll survive.
Okay, I need to watch the miniseries.
Has anyone else got anything to add about their list or somebody else's list? Cool. All right.
It's all
excellent.
great.
No worries. Thank you so much, Jordan, for joining us. Definitely go and check out his channel. I'll link it below. Audiobooks is his main. I believe that's your main thing. You make
Absolutely,
your own audiobooks.
the only thing I do. Yeah.
Anything you wanna add about your channel? What video should everybody go and check out? Like, what video do you want people to go click on?
I want everyone to see the trout fishing in America one, just to listen to how bad it is and how distorted it is. I looked back on it and I'm like, what was I even thinking? That one I want everyone to check out, and please give it a dislike. Do not like that video. As far as other audiobooks, I really can't remember many that I've actually done because it's been some time. But Interpreter Malady is the one one of the books in my top 10. I have every short story on there as well, broken up into pieces. So I'd say check that one out as well. And if anyone watching on this video wants me to read anything else, they can comment it on my channel and I'll try my best to get to it.
Awesome. Excellent.
Because who wants to pay for audiobooks? No one can afford that these days.
No one can afford that. I mean, I can. I can afford that.
I can too. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, all right. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care, y'all. This was so much fun. Y'all have a good day now.
You too.
Bye.